Well, I started at 15. I moved to Potters Bar, to the Norfolk Kennels, and I lived in there, and I worked for Gordon Hodson, late Gordon Hodson, who many years later finished up working here alongside me in the next block at Hove, and I was a kennel hand there, and Frank Melville, who went on to be a top trainer, and then in charge of the NGRC then. I worked with him as a kennel hand, and then head lad, didn't have assistant trainers then. So yeah, when I was 15, started there, and I was there for about 7-8 years, and then I got offered a job, and the GRA that was there at Norfolk, and they offered me a job, and I didn't even know where it was, trainer's job. In them days, if you got offered a trainer's job, I remember Randy Singleton saying to me, "I've heard you've been offered a trainer's job," and I said, "Yeah." He said, "Don't matter where it is, take it, boy." And I did. I really didn't even ask where it was. They said, "Look, there's an interview, do you want to go?" There was 2 of us, and I said, "Yeah, I'll go. Where is it?" And they said, "Shorefield." I didn't even know where it was. I thought it was in Ireland. So I said, "Yeah, okay." And I went up to Shorefield, and I did get the job. And I moved up there, and I was there for 3 years, and it was a different world, really different world. It was a peculiar. The GRA had just bought the place, and they really wanted sort of southern people to get in there because it was all local trainers, and the racing manager. It was a peculiar setup. I mean, once the racing manager used to come down and tell the trainers which dogs to gallop up the gallop, and the first week I was there, and he came and said to me, and I said, "No, you don't tell me what dogs to gallop. I'm the trainer, you're the racing manager," which didn't go down well with him, but in the end we did get on. But yeah, it was hard. It was really hard.
Everybody talks about needing more money in the sport. I think that goes without saying, and prize money increases and things like that. But how concerned are you about welfare in the sport at the moment?
Well, very, very. I mean, there's things going around at the moment about dogs and, disappearing or being put to sleep. I mean, everybody has dogs put to sleep. If an injury's bad, we had 2 last year, and it breaks your heart when it happens, but you've got to look at it and is it good for the dog to try and save it? Can you save it? And what's it going to go through? And we had, I made it. It's me. It's down to me. It's not the owner. It's me. It's not the kennel staff. I make the decision. And if I feel that the dog has to be put down, as I say, we've only had 2 put down in the last couple of years, touch wood, and they were bad injuries. And if we can save them, we will. We know it's expensive to try and save a hock and all that, but I think 99.9% of dogs can be saved, but I think sometimes it's a bit easy just to say, "Oh well, it's a bit expensive and it's aggravation keeping it for 3 or 4 months and nursing it back, so the best thing to do is put it down." But I think they're thinking of themselves more than dogs. There's a terrible lack of dogs. People are not breeding. People have stopped breeding in England. Well, England, Scotland, there's nothing. Say Dave Woods has stopped up in Scotland, who does the Quest House dogs. Around here alone, within 5-mile radius, when I come here, there was maybe 8 local breeding places. The Glyn Bridge was bred up the road. The Saxby is just 200 yards away. They used to do supply dogs here to George Curtis and other trainers. With the Glyn prefix, but they've all gone. There's no one. There's no one now. And it's a very sad state of affairs, and prize money's got to be increased. And the money is not being put in the right directions. I'm afraid there seems to be a hell of a lot of waste that's been spent over the years. Reports that have cost God knows what. Some of these reports. I remember one a few years back that all the owners got. I, as an owner, got one, and you filled it in about what you thought about this and that, and what happened? I don't know. It must have cost telephone numbers. Someone made money out of it, the company doing it, but nothing seemed to happen. I know it's sour grapes as well, and people are going to say, especially the GBGB. I mean, I've never understood how all the money was spent on offices in London with massive rent when there could have been outside London or even Wimbledon to save the money. I just feel that the money goes in the wrong direction. And I saw a lot of trainers do, and you need to increase prize money, and you need to get sponsors. And again, I don't think tracks and the governing body seem to make enough effort to get sponsors into the game. You need sponsors. If you haven't got sponsors putting up good prize money, people are not going to buy dogs. And then when the dogs are not about, you haven't got the tracks.
How much have things changed for trainers? Have things changed a lot in the years you've been training?
Yes and no, I mean, yeah, we you have the machines and you have this and you have that, and I think, you know, you look at dogs. I think if you don't know when you look at a dog if it's lame or what, it makes me laugh when I read so many times when, dogs run disappointed and the trainer sort of says to the press, "Oh yeah, we're off to the vets tomorrow to get it checked out." Well, I'm no expert. I think you learn. George Curtis used to say to me, you learn something every day, boy, something new. But I think you should know to a certain extent what you're doing and that, and whether a dog's lame. And I'm a great believer in time's the best healer. We've got machines and we use them and that. Some people spend hours on machines, but I think the best thing is to do is just leave them on the bed and let them rest, and normally it will sort itself out.
What's been your best moment in the sport?
You interviewing me today? No, I don't know. We've had some fun. I think we won the Grand Prix at Walthamstow, and it was a great buzz. The dog ran brilliantly well, come from last to get up and win. Didn't think he'd won. That was exciting. Again, a stayer. Having dogs in the Derby final is always great. I mean, we've been in 3 or 4. Haymaker Mac broke my heart when he was in the semi-final, and Bob Rowe at the time was racing manager at White City, and he decided he was going to not have seeding that year, and he was a dead rowler, and he drew, I think, out in 5, and he got absolutely mullered. Everywhere he went, he got mullered, and he flew at the finish. He got beat at Shorthead for 3rd. He was a very good dog, and annoying thing was people sort of went, you got through, and then you walk round to the paddock, and I was under the tunnel at White City, and they announced it, and he was 4th, sorry. It broke my heart. I just thought, my God, he's run so well. He went on into the Constellation final. He smashed the track record, about 5 lengths faster than the Derby final. He was so unlucky. He would have won the Derby if seeding had happened.
What would put the icing on the cake of your career? What would mean you look back and think, that was really good?
Well, obviously winning the Derby would be like the greatest thing in the world, isn't it? We've been in 3 or 4 finals. Smoking Bullet was he was a super dog, and he was owned by Vinnie Jones and John Ward. Those were great days. But yeah, winning the Derby is obviously what it's all about.